Hey guys, happy new year. I'm actually filming on New Year's Day. First L'Amour video of 2020. I really wanted to get this video out before the end of 2019, but here we are. I feel like it's a good way to move into a new decade. Today I'm bringing you my annual Beauty Heroes retrospective. So this is November 2018 through November 2019. So it's not a calendar year. Every year it like jumps forward a month. I kind of do it a little bit differently every year. This last year is actually my first year, November to November, of being a new mother to baby L'Amour, who was born in November of 2018. I wasn't able to do reviews of each of the monthly boxes. I'm gonna have to go back and look and see what I did review individually. I think I started monthly reviews again in May-ish. This is now the third or fourth retrospective I'm doing. I will have a playlist linked of all my Beauty Heroes reviews on all my retrospectives below. So for anyone that's new to Beauty Heroes, it is a monthly eco-organic beauty box subscription. I've been working with them for the last 4.5 years. I have so much love for this company. I love working with them as a brand ambassador. I think their curation is always just a cut above the rest, super thoughtful. Their customer service is exceptional. So one quick thing before we get into what promises to be a lengthy video. I think my retrospective was close to an hour last year. This is the first time I'm talking to you on video after the launch of my podcast. I know not everybody is on Instagram, but that's where I announced it on Monday, December 30th. The name of my podcast is Your Purpose is Beauty. So if you go into your favorite podcast player, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Pocket Casts, I need to make sure it's up. I've submitted it to lots of the smaller platforms too. You'll find it, you can subscribe, and I will be publishing new episodes of Your Purpose is Beauty every Monday. There's a small library of 4 episodes for you to get started on. A recent beauty and lifestyle favorites, a Q&A where I took questions from Instagram, an interview with Diane Reed from Momi Beauty, Modern Minerals, and a product review video that I'm calling a product critique. So reviewing products that never really made it past the initial testing phase. The feedback has been so overwhelmingly supportive and positive. It makes me feel so emo inside. I'm so thankful that you guys are into it. I've been wanting to start a podcast for years, and I finally did it. So I think I'm going to be doing a video that's more dedicated to just L'Amour updates, L'Amour in 2020. So a little bit more about the podcast, updates that I'm doing to Patreon, what you can expect from my YouTube channel, and just kind of all the places that I'm making content and how excited I am about 2020 and entering this new decade. I'll have timestamps below in the description box and links to all of these products. At the end of the video, I'll also be telling you my personal hero products of the year. And I think that's it. Let's dive in with the November 2018 box featuring Inlight Beauty. I have since gone on to talk at length about my love for Inlight. The products in that box were the Inlight line softener and superfood mask. I pulled another product because I have tried lots of Inlight products around the time that this box came out, and I have since repurchased Inlight products. I'm gonna go out and say that I actually said this on a skincare live stream that I did on Patreon a couple of nights ago. My top 3 beauty brands right now, if I had to pick, are Infiore, Le Par, and Inlight. And if you've tried all 3, you will see that there's a very common thread throughout them, just in terms of the textures of the products, the experience of the products, the integrity of the products. So needless to say, Inlight was a huge hit for me. So I'm excited to start this video out on a super positive note. The line softener, I have used about half of mine. This is a very, very intense, very moisturizing, loose textured balm. Wonderful to spot treat particular places on the face. You can use it as an eye balm. I often will use it between my eyebrows where my 11 lines are, anywhere that I need a little bit of extra moisture. So this is the last step in an evening skincare routine for me, and I think it's exceptional. Inlight products have a pretty significant smell. They're not like Le Par, which is the most subtle of the 3 that I mentioned. And they're different than Infiore, but I would say on that same level in terms of the aromatherapy effect. Now, I finished 2 of Inlight's masks. The Superfood mask is the one that came in that box, and it's more of a like mildly clarifying, refreshing type of mask. It reminds me a lot of the Lil Fox Jungle Glow, but I like it better. The exfoliating particles are for a physical exfoliant, and I don't really use physical exfoliants. These 2 masks, the Superfood mask and the chocolate mask, are good for me to use as someone that is physical exfoliant avoidant. They're almost like super fine sugar particles that kind of dissolve on the skin. The chocolate mask gets a little edge from me over the Superfood mask, but both are so incredible. The chocolate mask is going to be a repurchase for me. Chocolate orange scent. I think this is such a good Valentine's Day gift. Cheers all. I think I even said this last year. I think I've talked about it in so much previous content. I have so much love for this product, as well as the Inlight face cleanser and floral tonic, which I have since gone on to repurchase after using up full containers of them. So Inlight, huge rave for me, potentially my favorite discovery of this whole video, but let's assess at the end. Next, we move into December of 2018, which was featuring a brand I also have a lot of love for, Max and Me. The hero product was a full size of their mask and wash product, and the sidekick was their newly launched mist. It's like an aura mist, could also be used as a toner, called the Intuitive. I don't have the Intuitive. I have since passed it on. I do a lot of product divestment to patrons on Patreon. In fact, I don't know if you can even see, I was just filming one. I put together these bundles of products that are either brand new, things that I get duplicates of, or very lightly tested things that don't work out for me. I bundle them up and send them to patrons. Totally free. I pay for shipping and everything. So just another way for me to say thank you for supporting L'Amour. I have tried this product in the past. It's like a, absolutely wonderful. As you can see, I haven't actually used mine yet, but now that I've opened it, I'm going to put it into my rotation. It's a very like fast acting mask experience in a cleanser. In terms of the spectrum of like gentle to aggressive, I guess you could say, I would consider this like somewhere in the middle. The experience of it is really quite invigorating. From what I remember, there are sort of particles in it, but not abrasive at all. So this is very versatile. You could use it as, for example, your second cleanse after you've taken off your makeup, or you could leave it on like during a bath or a pamper session type of thing. The results are really smoothing and brightening. So this is a fantastic product. I've used it on and off for years, and I think Max and Me is another brand. Feels different than the brands that I had just mentioned in a different way, but it has that same kind of vibrational pull, if that makes sense. Really hard to talk about the energetics of skincare, something I'd like to dive more into in the future. The Intuitive, I don't know, I was also very newly postpartum when I started using it, so I was really sensitive to scents for like the first 6 months postpartum, I would say. It has, to me, it had a really strong honey note, which I'm not sure why my nose was registering that, and Palo Santo. So I tried to use it both as a toner and as just kind of a general aura or room type of mist, and it just kind of missed the mark for me personally, so I did pass it on. A year ago, January 2019, Beauty Heroes went into 2019 featuring a brand I had been really curious to try, had never tried anything from the brand, and it was Jane Scrivener. I learned about Jane Scrivener initially through Jordan Samuel, who I'm sure everybody knows Jordan at this point, professional ballet dancer turned esthetician and skincare brand founder, and he had done some videos many years ago with Jane Scrivener, who is based in the UK and has a really amazing approach to skincare from what I had seen of her. Very into nourishing products and facial massage and balm cleansing. So the products in the box were full sizes of the Nourishing Cleanser and the Over Oil Cream. So the Nourishing Cleanser is empty. I finished this up a long time ago, I think within 2 or 3 months. I had finished this, absolutely loved it. The texture was quite loose, which I like, meaning that it melts onto the skin quite easily. Beautiful for a facial massage, comes off with a cloth wonderfully with, I would say, light to medium oil residue compared to something like the Inlight face cleanser. That leaves to me, a heavy oil residue that does need to be definitely removed somehow. This does too, but like less of a residue. Beautiful experience. It had a really fresh, lemony type of scent from what I remember. I thought it was perfection. Now the over oil cream was less of a hit. I actually talked about this in my Product Crit podcast that I mentioned just a little bit ago in the intro of this video. This is an oil that is designed to be, as the name would imply, put over an oil. So if you're someone that likes to use face oils and maybe for whatever reason a balm, an oil-based or wax and butter-based balm is not for you, maybe that feels too heavy or it's like too much oil on the skin and you want a water-based cream type of product, I think this is a good option. However, I kind of feel like maybe I'm not remembering correctly, but I almost feel like the color of mine went off. I don't know why I thought that this cream used to be a brighter color. Maybe I'm thinking of the cleanser. I could be like totally wrong, but it has quite a strong traditional rose scent, which wasn't my favorite. And I actually do think at this point, a year later being opened, the product has turned. It takes a lot for me personally to have a traditional cream in my skincare routine. I'm much more likely to opt for a balm like the Inlight Line Softener. The only two creams I have ever found that have a place in my routine are the Iuna Cream 2, which we'll talk about when we get to the September 2019 anniversary box, and more recently Infiore Creme de Fleur, which is the water-based cream that they do, is beautiful. So a miss for me, and unfortunately too old to be getting passed on. Okay, February 2019. We're gonna get into the first true miss. I guess the over oil cream was a bit of a miss, but this whole February 2019 box, despite my yearnings to want to like it, have tried mightily to use these products and develop an affinity for them, but I can't. I have never had success with Tabitha James Cron's hair care line. I had previously tried the cleanser that Tabitha formulated before this line. This is the clean shampoo and clean conditioner in Amber Rose, as well as the scented organic hair oil in Amber Rose. There is a hair cleanser in the line that I had tried years ago and saw zero success with, again, despite really trying to use it. So I had higher hopes for these because I think that they're a little bit meant to be formulated in a bit of a more traditional hair care way. And Jeannie did a video with Tabitha where Tabitha did like the whole hair ritual on Jeannie, from, you know, how to wash with this and how to best utilize the conditioner and the hair oil and the amounts. And the whole video is very, very extremely enjoyable to watch. ASMR for sure, so I recommend going to see it. These just don't get my hair clean enough, which is, I think, a common complaint for a lot of eco hair care products. The conditioner is nice. I can use it as a standalone with separate shampoos. The shampoo takes so much product and so much work for me to get into my scalp, especially if you've done any kind of, you know, forget about if you've oiled your scalp, you're gonna have a real hard time getting it out with this shampoo, in my opinion. And I don't even have, like, I guess I have medium length hair, but it's not like super thick. I have medium fine hair. But I just find that so many eco hair care products are really best suited for people that probably have really short hair. Otherwise, it's just too difficult to get into the scalp. I had the same problem with Josh Rosebrook shampoo and conditioners. Never been able to get them to work for me. The one duo that Beauty Heroes has featured that I have found great success with and have gone on to repurchase are the True Botanicals shampoo and conditioner. These I've been using up to shave with, and really sometimes I'll use the conditioner on my hair. And when I first tried to use them, I was getting the sort of cashmere hair effect, but if I would use them any more than 2 washes in a row, my hair would just start to look not clean and limp and really needed like a good scalp cleanse. The hair oil I also tried to use. The scent is heavy, so it wasn't necessarily my favorite. It does have a nice little crystal. I love the pump, I love the packaging, I love the branding of this company, but The formulas just really missed the mark for me. As far as a hair oil, I've never found anything I like better than the Uma hair oil, which is a Beauty Heroes hero product from many years ago. That's a product I always think about repurchasing. I also like the Inner Sense hair oil quite a bit. I would try and use a pump of this like on the ends of my hair, sometimes worked into the scalp, and the scent is just, I think, a little too heavy for me. I don't know, really wanted to love these products, but the box was all around a miss for me, despite many months of trying to work with it. March 2019 was a new brand discovery to me, which are always very fun and exciting. I love getting to try a brand I have no experience with whatsoever. That brand was Blue Alchemy. I also got to try most of the rest of the brand at the same time: the oil cleanser, the face oil, the eye roller ball serum. After trying everything, oh sorry, I should tell you what was in the box. The hero product was the Blue Alchemy Multi-C serum, and the sidekick, all the writing has actually rubbed off, as you can tell, but this was the Blue Alchemy toning elixir with finger lime caviar, I think was the highlighted ingredient. Love both of these, and actually of everything else I went on to try, these would be my picks from the line too. The whole line actually works really well together, so I think it's a brand that if you were to invest in trying everything from one brand, it's a good one, because I think it's like tightly edited and you kind of get everything you need just from the brand. The packaging I think is really beautiful, especially of the eye serum. The oil cleanser I actually just finished up. It's in an empty skincare bag. I really liked it. I got a little bit fatigued by the end with it though, and the bottle lasts forever, so it's actually a really good investment, I think, for an oil cleanser. But these two are wonderful. I'm actually still using the Multi-C serum, although I'm pretty much done. I have like maybe a quarter of this bottle left. One of the only vitamin C products I have ever tried that has not dried my skin out and actually feels like skin supportive, you know. I think the formula is so elegant and it's just a pleasure to use. I love using this product and it continues to have a place in my routine. I used up the toner really quickly again because I liked it. It has that, there's a citrus note through a lot of the products, which I personally love. They have such a fresh, potent scent. It's like if you were to go into your garden, snip a bunch of herbs, freshness. Like the products feel very garden fresh and solar in a way. I guess that's the best way I can describe them. So I would totally repurchase both of these again. Loved discovering them. The founder of the brand seems so lovely. I would actually love to interview her on my podcast, so I'm probably going to reach out to her in 2020 and see if she'll come on. Really interesting story behind the brand. Overall, loved this. Loved this. April 2019, I have nothing to show you because I actually have no recollection of this box for some reason, and I must have since passed on the products long ago. April 2019 was featuring De Mamiel, the Brightening Cleanse and Exfoliate, and the Skin Recovery Blend, which I am now remembering was a little balm. Never had success with De Mamiel. It's a brand that really misses for me. It's like we're just like ships passing in the night. There's really very little resonance there for me, and I'm not sure why. Like, I love the brand and concept. They're UK based, and the formulator founder is a long time Chinese medicine practitioner, acupuncturist, and herbalist, I believe. So in theory, I love that, right? The products are not actually acupuncture or Chinese medicine forward the way something like 5 Yinna is, but that's definitely, I think, part of the formulation. Part of the issue with De Mamiel is that Beauty Heroes had featured products from them, the Skin Dew, and I think the tinted SPF. It wasn't officially rated an SPF at the time, but I think in the spring of 2018 there was a De Mamiel box through Beauty Heroes, and I was in my first trimester of pregnancy, and the products made me actually ill. Like, I couldn't use them because I was throwing up constantly and just like couldn't use anything really. So certainly not the brand's fault, but I couldn't use them at all. I'm sure I covered this actually in last year's retrospective. The Brightening Cleanse and Exfoliate, it very similar to something like May Lindstrom's The Clean Dirt in concept. I remember it coming in a glass large glass twist off jar where you dump a little bit of product out, add a little bit of water. It turns into almost like a foamy mousse type of cleanser, and you cleanse. Now, you would obviously want to remove makeup and SPF first with an oil or a balm or however you do that. And then it would be the analogous step in a skincare routine to the Max and Me Serenity mask and wash. But again, this is like a pre-mixed product. The benefit of something like the De Mamiel Brightening Cleanse and Exfoliate is that it's going to stay fresh for quite a long time because you are mixing it fresh every time you use it. I do remember trying it and it was just too abrasive for me personally, so really couldn't use it beyond the initial testing phase. Would be the type of product to go in a product crit. Will make sense if you go listen to that podcast. And then the Skin Recovery Blend was a balm. I really truthfully do not remember it at all. I think I remember trying to use it and the scents probably were just a big mismatch for me, and that's why I passed it on. But a lot of people love this brand, so just take what I say with a grain of salt. Not everybody is going to be a jive with every brand. Very individual, and I'd actually love to hear people that had a really good experience with that box and what you liked about it, because again, that's just my perspective on it. 2019 was a big crowd pleaser box. It was featuring none other than our favorite cutting edge ultra luxe Spanish skincare company, Ayuna. I think people just freak out when they see Ayuna because the opportunity to get these products at a beauty box price is extremely attractive because they're very expensive. They're at the top of the line as far as price point. So the hero product was the newly launched, or it may have actually been launching in the Beauty Heroes box, Velo. This at the time, and I'm still not sure about the status of this, it is a tinted SPF product, but was not officially rated as an SPF when it showed up in the box. But that's how people were treating it. I believe unofficially it was rated an SPF of 28 or 30, something in that range. But it looks like this is now an empty product. I used the whole thing up. It also included their Ayuna's exfoliating toner called the Facial, and I believe the one they included in the box was the low version. So they have a low and a high of that product. Have since given that on because I struggle a lot with exfoliating toners. It's just a product that doesn't seem to make any significant difference to my skin. In fact, sometimes I feel like those kinds of products make my skin look marginally worse. So I try them and then they kind of always cycle out. I've also recently tried the Native Atlas exfoliating toner, the Sahajan Balance toner, and I'm currently trying the Honua Hawaiian Beauty Water, which is not, I guess you could technically consider it an exfoliating toner, but it's more gentle than some of the ones I'm using. So let's talk about Velo. Lots of good things about this product. The texture is, again, extremely elegant. It's substantial, but not in a potentially too heavy way, the way something like Suntegrity I personally love, but a lot of people find that formula just heavy and kind of mask-like on the skin. This is substantial without feeling heavy. It has a really feather-light feel on the skin. Plays really well with other products. I never had issues with pilling or product layering. This would be the last step in a morning skincare routine for me. Honestly, it's very skin perfecting. If you're running around after kids or a new baby the way I have been, this is perfect because if I put nothing else on my skin for the rest of the day except this, I was really happy with how my skin looked. So if you're a product minimalist, if you're looking for your perfect one-step tinted SPF, this is absolutely worth trying. Now that said, I hate the packaging. I think the packaging needs a revamp. I had so many issues with it. So ostensibly, you're supposed to store it upright like this, right? But what happens is, actually you can still see there's some coming out. You get product pooling at the bottom and it gets extremely messy. And it's difficult to control, especially when you're nearing the end and you're trying to like contort the bottle to get every little bit out. I just really dislike the packaging of every Ayuna product. I think this needs to go in something different. Ideally, it would go in a pump, but sometimes that's difficult with products that are a little bit heavier to get them to feed through a pump, I think is why brands don't do it. I mean, I guess I appreciate that it's not in a pot like a lot of their other products, because what ends up happening, and as we will talk about, I did have preservation issues with my Iuna cream too. You know, somewhat airtight packaging, but love the product, really don't like the packaging. I did also find that towards the end of using it, there was a little bit of pigment separation, and I would start to be able to see pigment particles on my skin, which could have been a function of my skin going through ebbs and flows of dryness and dehydration, but also I think it was due to a little bit of product separation or product turning. I love Iuna. I have so much love for them. In fact, we came back from our Christmas travels, and I was just sent their new ultra luxe product called Terra. I haven't even opened this, but let's see what we can see. I'm probably going to do an IGTV or something about this. So this is their new product called Terra. So I am going to be trying this. When they DM'd me on Instagram and they were like, just letting you know, we're going to put this in the mail for you, I was like, whoa, because I think the product retails for over $400, which is bananas, but obviously I'm excited to try it and let you know about it. Iuna retails for $156. It lasts a really long time. This amount, it's 1.6 fluid ounces of product, and I used this for a good 8 to 9 months, I want to say. I used it most of the year and enjoyed it. It would definitely be on a future potential repurchase list for me. I'm really happy with other sunscreens I have, so there's not an imminent need for me to repurchase it, but I loved using it, and I've heard wonderful things that people are just generally really happy with it. Again, the facial, not a product for me. I've given away my bottles of the high and the low, but I have tried them. If you like an exfoliating toner, it's beautiful. It has a bit of a vinegary smell, and I think it's like a biphase where you have to shake it to combine. I mean, Iuna is, again, a cut above the rest. Let's move into June. This was a bit of a controversial box, and you can go back and hear what I said about Agent Nature in my standalone review, because I totally stand by that. But the hero product was the Agent Nature Holy Body Oil Serum and a sidekick of the face serum. I think. I can't actually remember, but I think it was. So I have held on to the Ageless Face Serum. I have since given the body oil away. Okay, I mean, there's a lot to say about Agent Nature. For the products themselves, I think that they're really beautiful quality. The scents are a little strong for me. I did try and use the face serum like as a face serum, and it's a little too much for me. So for some people, Infiore might be too in their face, right? The tagline of Infiore is perfumery as medicines. Infiore products don't like hit you in kind of like almost like a sharp way, and that's kind of how I feel about Agent Nature. The scent is just very there. There's no kind of like easing into it or developing over time. It's just kind of there. People that love Agent Nature products. I did give them a solid go. I actually have kept this to use as like a pulse point oil. It has a complex rose undertone, like a spicy rose, but something about it's like a little bit sharp to me, and I didn't obviously use it enough to see if it made like a discernible difference on my skin or, you know, anything like that. But I do like actually mixing it as pulse points and like mixed with other perfumes that I have. So really good in that sense. The Holy Body Oil, from what I remember, the texture is actually really quite nice for a body oil. It's very light and easily absorbed. A body oil for people that don't really like body oil, I think. The scent is light but significant, and I do think the quality of the products is really nice. Now that said, the founder of Agent Nature, Jenna Cavello, is a bit of a controversial figure, divisive, and people just seem really polarized on the brand given all of that. I don't really want to get into it here. I do my best to stay neutral and kind of observe, and I might actually tackle this in a podcast episode, because I think there are just interesting dynamics that play out in the beauty space, and Agent Nature has kind of been, or Jenna Cavello, the person behind Agent Nature, has been just part of some different controversies. And I'm not saying that she's good or bad or right or wrong, but she's a controversial figure, I would say, in the beauty industry. So some people don't want to support brands that take political stances on things. Some people really don't care or agree with her stance. So it is what it is. I mean, basically you just kind of have to be your own discerning guide through things like that. July 2019, don't have either product to show you because I gifted them on. It was featuring the Graydon Full Moon Serum and the Graydon Green Cream, as well, actually. I do have something I could show you. A sachet of the Graydon Face Glow, which I have since gone on to purchase a full size of. So this was my favorite discovery from that box. The Full Moon Serum, which is like, it came in a dropper bottle and was a, or is a watery, like almost silicone feeling type of serum. And the Green Cream came in an airtight pump dispenser, just sort of a traditional water-based cream type product. And both of them featured what are being called phytoretinols, or plant-based retinols, or retinol alternatives. I've also heard some discussions in the eco beauty community about semantics around all of that and how it's misleading to call them phytoretinols. Bakuchiol was one of them, and I am blanking on the other one that was used, but they are ingredients that are going to have a similar effect, supposedly or purportedly, to a synthetic vitamin A or retinol, which is going to expedite your cells to turn over and to reveal your younger skin cells sooner than they would on their own. I actually just tackled this and the issue of retinol generally in a podcast episode that will be out on January 16th, I believe, the second Monday of January. The episode is on my personal skincare philosophy and how it's evolved, and my perspective on retinols and what I've learned so far. So I don't use synthetic retinols, and I also don't really want to use these retinol alternatives. I am most comfortable using oils that have naturally occurring high levels of vitamin A, like a really high quality rosehip seed oil, for example. I did try both of the products and I actually did see immediate visible results, particularly from the Full Moon Serum. You wake up with very, very smooth, baby soft, clear skin. So I actually passed that on to my mom, who, I feel would benefit from a product like that more than I personally feel like I need right now. But they are definitely products, and Bakuchiol is an ingredient I definitely keep, on my radar. There's some interesting studies out there about that if you are into the scientific study of it. And it's, really kind of come on the scene. It's like the new thing. I feel like CBD was in everything, and now Bakuchiol is in everything. The Face Glow I went on to buy a full size of. It now retails for $43, which I think is a little bit high, but I do really like it. It's kind of a primer illuminator. It does have some unrated SPF in it with titanium dioxide. So I've been mixing this with a CC cream. That's actually was my first layer on my skin today. Beautiful primer for something like the K or Weiss cream foundation, which I use a lot. Very, very happy with this and have really been enjoying using it. August 2019 is from a brand that I struggle a bit with, Maya Chia. I've tried so much from this brand and so earnestly wanted to get on with it because people love it. And I've always loved the branding of Maya Chia, but really struggled to find products that work for my skin. Okay, I just had to take a quick break to charge the battery because I've obviously been talking too long. Maya Chia, the hero product was the Refresh Mint Resurfacing Moisture Mask, and the sidekick is a 1.7 fluid ounce bottle of the Optimist Hydrating Essence. Bit of a complicated one for me to assess. I did do a standalone review of this. First impression of this was that it was way too aggressive for my skin. I had a real uncomfortable experience using it. It smells like Hawaiian Punch. It's like this blue jelly-like product. It really, really stung my skin the first couple times I used it. I now do still try and use it because, as I've been saying, I have been shying away from physical exfoliants and trying to find my ideal chemical or acid type of exfoliator to use sparingly, like weekly or every 2 weeks, and this has been a contender. However, ultimately, I do think it's too strong for my skin and my particular skin needs, but that's really going to vary because I tend to get stinging sensations from products when other people don't. For example, I've been trying to test the Strange Bird face cleanser and I got bad stinging the first time I used it, and I had Kaveh try it and he's like, yeah, no, it doesn't sting at all. So I could just have some sensitivities, but my skin is a little too sensitive to this. I have still been trying to use it. Like I said, I'll leave it on for like 2 to 4 minutes and it does give a resurfacing effect, but I recently have been trying the Audacity Rose Gommage, which is a gommage. My preferred kind of exfoliant, I think, is a gommage because I get like some physical exfoliation without abrasion. That's why I like gommages, but that gommage I think also has enzymes in it like papaya or pineapple, and I am loving that product. That is actually my front runner for ideal exfoliant. This I might still try and continue to use, but it's been a product I've struggled with, honestly, in the time since I reviewed it. Now the hero product from that box for me by far is the Maya Chia Optimist. I had actually gone through a full bottle of this prior to seeing this in the August Beauty Heroes box, so I love it. I absolutely love it. I actually recommended this recently to someone who told me she was having very, very dry skin. So I gave her some different techniques to try as well as products. And I said an area you can really impart extra moisture is the toning step. A lot of toners are really not that hydrating. They may be refreshing. They may sort of marginally help with oil absorption or things like that, skin prep, but to find one that really imparts hydration to the skin, is really dewy, really plumping to the skin, you're going to want to go with something more like an essence, which is what this is, but it's a sprayable essence, which is hard to find because the molecular weight tends to be higher, so they're hard to spray, but it has such an amazing fresh scent, like orange. It has a predominant orange scent. It's so nice. The mist is really fine, works as part of skincare, works as part of skin refresh during the day. Highly recommend this product. By far my favorite Maya Chia product I've ever tried. Okay, September 2019 was exciting because Beauty Heroes was celebrating 5 years of delivering hero products to the eco and organic beauty community. They curated a box of some of Jeannie's most absolute favorite memorable hero products. I think people were over the moon with this box. My battery is already starting to run out again, but we're just going to keep going as long as we can. And the 5 products in the box were a full size of the Honua Aloha Youth Serum, a full size of the Lil Fox Kalahari Peridot Infused Brightening Eye Serum, a deluxe sample size or travel size 0.33 fluid ounces of the Laurel Sun Damage, or sorry, they've renamed it, Sun Serum Phyto Defense and Repair Oil Serum, 22 ml or 0.75 fluid ounce jar of the Josh Rosebrook Cacao Antioxidant Mask, and then they included a small, I don't know how many ounces it was, jar of Iuna Cream 2. This is my full-size Iuna Cream 2, which has been in my Skincare Empties declutter bag for a while, but I brought it out just to show you. I gifted the small jar of Iuna Cream 2 to my mother, who absolutely loves it. I've tried Cream 1 and Cream 2. I personally think Cream 2 is much, much better, although people seem to also really like Cream 1. I think it just depends on the level of hydration you need. I love Cream 2. My mom loves it. I bought her a full size for Christmas because she had already worked her way through the small one I gave her in September. So amazing box. My heroes from the box are like basically everything. I concur so much. I have talked at length about how much I love the Laurel Sun Serum. It used to be called Sun Damage Repair. This is actually an empty, I fished this out of my empty skincare. I used a full bottle of it. Easily top 5 face oil serums of all time. It's incredible. I get super bright skin, super happy skin. Laurel's whole philosophy and formulation approach is incredible. Very laudable, very amazing. I had also really sung the praises of Lil Fox Kalahari. One of my, if not my favorite Lil Fox product. It's an absolutely incredible, lightweight eye serum rollerball. Of every eye oil I've ever tried, this is my favorite. I'm currently primarily using Infiore V Clear Supreme as my eye treatment, but this is way, way up there. I think it's exceptional. Iuna Cream 2, you already know I love. However, this is a full-size jar. I bought maybe a year and a half ago, and quite early on into using the product, I got some oil separation in there, and the product definitely started smelling funky about a year after using it, which sucks because this is $198 product and I didn't get to use all of it up. So, you know, as with everything, if you're going to invest in expensive products, you really want to use them before they go bad. Honua Aloha Youth Serum. This was a rediscovery for me. They had featured Aloha Youth Serum and Honua Olena Face Oil in a Beauty Heroes box 2 years ago, I want to say, and I have actually enjoyed them more during this rediscovery. I've been using Olena, I've been using Aloha. I love them so, so much. Just incredible. There's very few of these emulsion type of serums. I'm actually almost out of this. I've used this entire bottle. Really, really similar to something like Infiore Complex de Fleur. I love this kind of product. Just a beautiful moisture step for lots of different skin types. It's like a multivitamin for your skin. I actually haven't busted into this yet, but I've used many jars of it in the past. The Josh Rosebrook Cacao Antioxidant Mask. It's actually one of my favorite Josh Rosebrook products. It's the kind of mask you can leave on your skin for like, I haven't opened mine yet, 45 minutes, and it's nothing but nourishing, really. Similar, I guess, to something like the Inlight Chocolate Mask. Cacao based and just nourishing, and such a joy to have on the skin with beautiful results. Happy 5-year anniversary to Beauty Heroes. 2 more boxes to go. They followed up the anniversary box with the October 2019 box featuring a new launch from Josh Rosebrook, his Hydration Boost Concentrate. This was the hero product. They also included a full size of the Josh Rosebrook Hydrating Accelerator, the 4 fluid ounce bottle, and a 0.75 fluid ounce jar of the Vital Balm Cream. Succinctly, favorite product from this box is definitely the Hydrating Accelerator. I think it's just a good, solid, refreshing face mist. It's not the most hydrating, like it's not as hydrating as Maya Chia, but it's beautiful. It has a really light vanilla type scent, which is unique, and you get a lot of product. I think it's just a good one to kind of like have at your desk or have in your bag. Works really well as part of skincare. Been using that product on and off for years. I don't have a bad thing to say about it. Hydration Boost Concentrate, I'm very intrigued by, right? There's not a lot of products like this out on the market. You're supposed to use 2 to 3 drops. You know, kind of where it sits in your routine is a little bit up for debate. I think some people use it straight on the skin after cleansing, topped with toner. Some people do toner, then top this, and then top with like the Vital Balm Cream. So there's really quite a bit of trial and error with it. My main issue with this, I don't find myself reaching for it a lot because it's a little bit sticky, so therefore I have found it sort of difficult to use as part of a morning skincare routine. And the thing is, it's really just vying for a space in my evening skincare routine with other kinds of oils and serums. I haven't played around too much with mixing it with an oil. It's just sort of asynchronous with a lot of other products in my skincare routine. But if you really, really like Josh Rosebrook and you use a lot of his other products, I think that it's really nice. I do think that it gives a nice result, but I don't find that it gives me so much more hydration and moisture than some of my other oils and serums, like those emulsion type of serums. So I've just been in a mode where I'm leaning for those a little bit more than something like this. I'm not sure if I'll keep using it. I think it's a great product, but this would be, again, probably like another product crit type of product as well. I think I actually did cover the Vital Balm Cream in my podcast episode, Product Crit. I tried this for posterity's sake because people had said that the texture had changed. It had slightly. It's a little bit more moussey than it used to be. Balms like this, like the Vital Balm Cream and like Honua Mahealani that just came in a recent Beauty Heroes box, these are much stiffer wax and butter heavy balms, and they feel slightly suffocating on my skin. I feel like my skin does better with oilier, looser type of balms like Inlight Line Softener, like La Par Beauty Balm, like Kerry Gran Essential Balm, like Infiore Fleur Vibrant. I feel like when I use those as part of an evening skincare routine, my skin just looks a little bit better in the morning. I just feel like my skin maybe needs to breathe a little bit more, because when I use something like this or Mahayalani, I actually feel like my skin looks a little bit drier in the morning, and it's very befuddling to me because it shouldn't necessarily. And all I can surmise is that the shea butters or the waxes that are in these, I don't know if it's that my skin doesn't really like shea butter as part of formulas. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure it out, but this is definitely going to be getting passed on. And I do think Hydration Boost Concentrate is a beautiful product, just not necessarily for my personal skincare routine. And Hydrating Accelerator I'll continue to use and really, really like. Okay, we're gonna close out with the November 2019 box featuring beautiful brand Beneath Your Mask. I was first introduced to this via the Indie Beauty Box Discoveries in the fall of 2018, I think. Right, yeah, fall of 2018 these came out. So this is actually my original jar from last year, and it stayed good. You can see I've used about half. It smells like a lemon drop candy. Talk about shea butter. I mean, this is like all shea butter. First ingredient is shea butter, grapeseed oil, sweet almond oil, avocado oil. I've heard a lot of people say that this is hard to work with, too heavy. They really struggle with using it. I really like it. I will take a scoop of it and I'll mix it with like the CV Skin Labs lotion, which you wouldn't think sounds like it would work, but it does. And I'll use it as a heavy duty body moisturizer. It's beautiful as like a foot balm. After I get pedicures, I'm really fastidious about taking care and like extending the life of my pedicures, and this is great for that. And then they also included the Remedy Lip Conditioning Balm, and I freaking love this. This is such a good lip treatment. I really like the packaging. It's not too heavy and sticky at all. It's so comfortable on the lips. I think it's simple but beautiful. I really like these products. I think a lot of people are sort of like on them from what I've heard, but I really enjoy them. I think they smell beautiful. I'm also recently trying the Fitglow Night Lip Serum, which reminds me a lot of the Bite Beauty Agave Lip Mask. This doesn't. They're totally different. Maybe I'll do a dedicated video on lip moisturizers because I feel like I have quite a few right now, and ones that I'm really liking. So at night I've been alternating between the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask, this, and more recently the Fitglow Night Lip Serum. Okay, let's conclude this video with my personal hero products of the year. So I kind of have a main category of heroes and then kind of like runners up, which are products I really liked, but they're sort of lower down, I guess, on the repurchase list. So my absolute favorite discoveries of the year, these will be repurchases, have already been repurchases. So Inlight Line Softener, Inlight Chocolate Mask, Inlight Face Cleanser, and Floral Tonic. I know those last three are not part of the discovery, but Inlight really probably was my favorite brand discovery of this retrospective. I think the products are exceptional and I highly recommend you check them out. Next would be the Blue Alchemy Multi-C Serum. I would totally repurchase this and I have really, really loved using it, and I think the brand is lovely. Graydon Face Glow was just a sachet in that July box, but I'm loving using this, have loved discovering it. I think it's wonderful. So four products from the anniversary box I will continue to repurchase and just love. Iuna Cream 2, even though there's some preservation issues there. Laurel Sun Repair Serum, Lil Fox Kalahari, and Honua Aloha You Serum. Love and adore. Maya Chia The Optimist. I love this. I will forever repurchase it. Last real hero product is the Beneath Your Mask Remedy Lip Conditioning Balm. Would repurchase this in a heartbeat. I think it's so good. Very happy with that. And then I just have a couple other kind of like runner-up heroes that I really enjoyed. Iuna Velo, if they were to change the packaging, I would absolutely consider investing in this again, but given the packaging, it's hard for me to think about spending that much money on something, but I do really love the product. Jane Scrivener Nourishing Cleanser. I think it's so good. If there weren't so many other balm and oil cleansers on my list to try, I would be repurchasing it already. The Inlight Balm Cleanser has a slight edge on this to me, but I think this is such a good one, and I loved getting to try it. And then the Blue Alchemy Toner. really, really good. Again, if there like weren't so many other things that I want to try, I think it's good, and I just think it goes so nicely with the multi-C serum. So I loved this box a lot. The first Beauty Heroes box of 2020 is featuring Ranavat Botanics, their Luminous Ceremony Cream Cleanser, which I have not tried, Radiant Rani Brightening Facial Serum, and Jasmine Tonique. I've tried both of those. Ranavat's wonderful. I have met Michelle in person. I think she's so lovely, and I'm really excited to try this cream cleanser. Brand new product. I'll have a link below if you want to go subscribe to Beauty Heroes and see what it's all about. Look at this. Super excited. I'm going to test these things and try and do a standalone review of this box sometime during this month while the subscription period is still open. Otherwise, thank you guys so much if you made it through the end of this video. Again, check the description box below for all the links that you need. Thank you so much for supporting L'Amour. I'd love to hear from you in the comments with your hero products of this year or products that you're most interested in. I look forward to 2020 and everything I'm going to be sharing with you on all of the platforms that I make L'Amour content on. Thank you so much, and I will see you, or you'll hear from me very soon. Bye.